Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday night. Welcome. This is Ginger Perrick, Healing Heart Medium, coming live to you on Facebook, and I'm also live on YouTube. So, everybody, come on in and see who's here. Let's see who pops in. It takes a few minutes. I'm just going to give some time, let the comments pop up here, and we're going to give it a few minutes before I bring on my very special guest this evening. So, we'll wait. It usually takes a few minutes for everybody to get on there. So I hope everybody's having a good week. We're having a bit of a weather change here in Arizona. It's been really nice and sunny. And then now we're going to start with clouds and rain and snow in the high country, which I have no problem at all with the snow in the high country because we need the water. So I'm very happy about this. So come on in, say hello, let me know you're here. And Adriana, hello, how are you? And Ellen, Jane, hello, how are you? So we're going to let everybody kind of pile in here. Let us know you're here. Come in and make a comment. And also share if you dare. Share if you care. Share to a page that you're allowed to share to. Share on your own page. Let everybody know that I'm on live. Hi, Kim. Hi, Theta. I am so excited while everybody's coming in here. I am so very excited. I have a really special, and for me, she's a very special friend to me. She's an amazing human being. And you know how I love beautiful, amazing human beings. And that we have on as a guest tonight that we're just going to talk and chat. And who knows towards the end if we'll do anything else. So, what I have here is I have Lisa Nolan Shalowsky. And I'll bring her up here in just a few minutes. I met Lisa probably about 5 years ago when I was going through my certified spiritual advisor program with the Lisa Williams School of training. And so I'm going to bring on Lisa Nolan Shalowsky. She is a psychic medium, a trance channel, a certified spiritual advisor, and she's a certified master teacher through the Lisa Williams International School of Spiritual Development. So without further ado, I'm going to pop right in here and we're just going to see how things are going and do a nice talk. So here we go. Let's see. Let's do this one. Let's see. Let's try that one. There we
Hey,
go. Hi,
hello,
there we
hello,
go. Hi,
hello.
hi. You look absolutely amazing.
I
Your
feel amazing.
love your hair. And we can talk about how your hair got to that situation, but it's so your curls are back. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful color on you. And you're in Ohio, right?
Yes.
So it's a little
Yeah.
later for you. It's like 9 o'clock at night
It's
for you.
9 o'clock. Yep, 9 o'clock.
So, and I know that you've been on with Elias, and I know you've been on with other people, and I'm super, super happy that you're here with me tonight. And if I get myself centered in my screen, I have a rolly chair, and I think I keep rolling downhill. Um, so let's talk about what's gone on with you in the last year. And I'm going to say, everybody, hello to everybody that's coming on. Please share and let's see who pops on and we get people to pop on. So let's talk a little bit about who you are. You're a psychic medium. You're also a trans medium. And then
Yes.
you're also one of the master teachers at Lisa Williams School of psychic. I'm not even gonna say that right. I'm spiritual development. I almost said psychic development, spiritual development.
Yes.
That's how I met you. You were going through the master teacher program when I was in the spiritual advanced spiritual working program with her, and she assigned you to me. And I was
Yes.
working. You were the one that looked and helped me and got me through that class. And even when I went to Lilydale, you were there and helped me through that. And I'm very grateful for that. You're an amazing teacher, and you were so supportive for me because
Oh, thank
my
you.
confidence was not the best. I knew I had the ability. I just didn't quite know how to deal with it. And you were a huge help with that. So let's talk about a little bit about you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and share that with everyone that's here? And then we'll talk about what's happened, what's gone on with you in the last year or so and what you've been through. So tell a
Well,
little bit
I'm just thrilled to be here. Thank you
about
so much. And it's something that is so exciting for me to witness and watch people that I have had the opportunity to teach spread their wings, grow and fly and just like take off the way you have done. It's just
oh,
absolutely spectacular.
oh, thank you. Thank
And
you.
don't I mean there's just so much love for you, Ginger, because I feel like we connected in that class, but it wasn't just a student. I gained a
Mhm.
friend.
Oh,
So I really want you to know, I truly, from the bottom of my heart feel that way about you. So
well, thank
we
you.
may not talk as often as I would like, or because of our schedules, but so yeah, so this beautiful hair, this beautiful, lovely gray hair.
Yes.
And I see my friend Lisa Ingalls on here. Lisa, look at this beautiful hair. And Dina, um, it's growing back. I am a breast cancer survivor. So back in, yes, yay.
Yay.
So back
Celebrate.
in, let's see, gosh, it's 2021, October 27th of 2021, the condo that we live in, the neighbor next door was having a contractor working on their home, and he set the place on fire. So it breached our home and took out the whole master bathroom on the second floor, and we ended up having to move out. We lived in 2 separate hotels for the first month, and then an additional 9 months in a furnished apartment before we actually came back to our home. That all happened in October. And then in November, I was at an event down in Cincinnati. For those of you who may be around Ohio, there's an awesome event called the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo. And I worked all day Saturday. I'm in the shower, showering up, and I do, my self breast exam. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. I don't remember feeling that there before. And, showed my husband, and we're like, okay, we're going to get through this weekend. I'm going to reach out to the doctor, and I'm just going to go get this checked. Well, she was able to get me in on Tuesday. So this was on Saturday. I had messaged her, and she messaged me back and was able to get me in on Tuesday. I'm in the exam room, and she can't find what I'm talking about. So offline, you and I were talking about self-care and advocating for yourself. And she goes, you're going to have to show me what you're talking about. And when I guided her hands to the area that I was concerned about, the look on her face spoke volumes. I was like, she goes, oh, but had I not pushed that, and I don't know, had I not pushed it,
Yeah.
it could have gotten a lot worse, because I would have been like, oh, well, it's nothing. She's not feeling it. It's no big thing.
Yeah.
But she was able to get me in that Wednesday for an ultrasound. And that's never an experience you want to have, where they tell you to wait right here. And then the radiographer actually comes in the room to speak with you, right? Brings the picture up on the screen and says, see this thing right here? And I'm like, yeah, I see that. It looks like a monster. What is it? Because it had legs, and it was growing, and it was, I have all the photos. And they told me that day that they couldn't confirm what it was, but they wanted to set me up for a biopsy. And we did that within a very short period of time. And by December 6th is when I got my actual diagnosis. So I went through
Christmas.
Oh yeah. So I went through, we went through, and then my surgery was scheduled. And this is what's so fascinating. And for those of you who have heard this story listening to me on lives before, sorry, I'm going to say it again, but it's the power of spirit to align us in the right ways with the right people at the right time, and to keep us out of things, or out of harm's way, or out of unnecessary procedures, is just phenomenal to me. Right.
Yeah.
So I was actually scheduled for my surgery in January, like the 3rd week of January, something like that. And I came down with COVID for a second time. So they had to push my surgery back. With my original surgery date, I was going to have the lump taken out of my breast, and then both of my breasts reconstructed.
So were they going to do a bilateral mastectomy?
No, I wasn't going to have a bilateral mastectomy. I was having a lumpectomy.
Okay.
But because of where it was, he felt that it would disfigure the breast enough that it needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
And then they were going to do the other one at the same time, so that they were symmetrical, which would have made me like a perky 15-year-old, which wouldn't have been a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I came down with COVID, and then it was rescheduled for February 2nd, which was 2/2/20. 2022, right? All twos. Just I was just like, oh my God, seriously? And twos are my number, right? Like I'm just like, I'm all about it.
Mm-hmm.
But they couldn't line up the plastic surgeon. So I was only going to have the lumpectomy that day, proceed with all of my, future care. And then I would go back at a later date and have the reconstruction. Ginger, as you know, I did not have to have reconstructive surgery because you cannot even tell my breast was operated on. So had Spirit not intervened, I would have had an unnecessary procedure.
Mm-hmm.
God knows what kind of healing process
Mm-hmm.
that would have,
Mm-hmm.
what that would have done.
A long healing process. A long.
It was just, I wasn't looking forward to that. And it was just like, I was, but being human, I was really upset. I was like, how can you be doing this to me? I want this out of my body. What's going on? All dramatic. And then afterwards it's like, oh, so that's why.
Isn't it how we have those moments where we think this isn't fair and we're throwing little fits and I want this done, or you're just so overwhelmed with the emotion that you don't allow that to take place, and we fight it and we go against it, and sometimes we get bit in the butt because we push things farther than they should be, when our guides and our spirits are going, whoa, 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 we're not doing this for a reason. And go on this.
No, I just absolutely praise God, praise Spirit that they just led me through that in the way that they did. And then I went through with chemotherapy. I was supposed to have 4 rounds of chemotherapy, and I made it through 2 because I had a micro bowel perforation. 1% of the people that have the chemo that I had, this is a side effect of, and I happen to be that one. I happen to be that
you got the diverticulitis out of it, right?
Yeah.
So not only did you go through COVID, and you're going through breast cancer removal, plus breast surgery, plus, and oh, by the way, let's perf your bowel at the same time. So you have to go back in the hospital again. So you really had stuff thrown at you.
Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot. But I will say that when I got to my radiation therapy, it was just so easy. It was so easy. I never had a single problem with it.
Yeah.
And but I ended up having my last radiation treatment in July. I want to say it was July 7th. And then that Friday, whatever that Friday was. So my last treatment was on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Friday, we took my precious little poodle in to have him examined, and found out that's the day he had cancer. I ended up losing him to cancer last October.
I remember how rough that was for you.
So that has just been, but it's through all of this. I was telling a client, I don't know, I speak to so many people, but I was telling someone that, through all of this experience, never once did I feel a victim of the circumstance. I just knew it was happening for me for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's still evolving. That's still unfolding. I don't exactly know. If I were to sit here and say, oh, I got all the answers, I know exactly why it was happening, no, I don't. Yeah. But I'm a work in progress. And I know there's going to be people that I'm going to be able to help, because I'm a been there, done that. There's personal lessons that I've learned through this experience.
Mm-hmm.
And if I follow the teachings that I absolutely believe in, which is Louise Hay, I know that things happen in that etheric field, and we have to deal with those thoughts and emotions and feelings before they come in as a physical manifestation, as an illness. Yeah. Now, I do believe that I'm on, I feel like I've been able to come up with, some ideas on what that is. I knew early on, and this is, I don't know if I ever told you this, Ginger, but 2 years before I found out I had cancer, I had a dream that I was going to have cancer.
Oh, wow.
Did I tell you that?
No, you did not tell me that. That's when it sucks to be psychic, right?
Yeah. So
no.
I have a dear friend of mine that passed away in 2016. And so I had this dream that he took me to the other side, and we walked in this huge building, and it just looked like an office building. And there
Mhm.
were all
Mhm.
these cubicles off on the left. And we go down the right, we go down this hallway, and we meet up with another guy that's standing in the end of this hallway, and they pull down this huge screen,
Huh.
and Mark and I are standing here, and they're playing things about my life, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. And then the guy has like this little pointer stick, like you
Yeah.
would see a professor having a
Yeah.
stick, and he says,
Yeah.
now when you get to this stage, he goes, you're going to have pancreatic cancer. And I remember looking at my friend, and I remember saying in the dream state, well, wait a minute. Because my frame of reference for pancreatic cancer, I have a cousin who passed away with that. Is
It's horrible.
it's
Yeah.
usually a death sentence.
Absolutely.
It's not often that people will come back from that.
Very
And I
rare.
said,
Yeah.
if I have to have cancer, isn't there something else that you can do? And they both look at each other and they said, we'll see what we can do. And that never left my mind. I always had it in the back of my mind, like, okay, cancer's coming. I just don't know when, where, or how, or
Wow.
what part of the body.
Wow.
So when it did happen, I was like, okay, Mark told me Mark told me this was going to happen. Okay, let's just get through this. Let's just, if this is my journey, what, I want to learn from it. I want to grow from it. I don't
Mhm.
want to be a victim to it, and I don't want to give into it, you know. And
Those are
anyone out there that's ever gone through any type of serious illness or disease knows that the power of your mind to move through it is so incredibly important. I had energy healers working on me. Anybody who wanted to work on me, I'm like, go for it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just send it right along. I'll
I'm
just I'll just
sending you all
accept
kinds
all
of
of it.
love. Yep. Yep.
But it's all about getting into your own emotions and understanding um, how you might have allowed yourself to get to this space or
Mhm.
place,
Mhm.
and then how can we move through it so that we don't have to have this event happen again.
And I talk about that a lot when I'm on here about how we manifest that dis-ease in our body. Like people that have control issues and have to control everything in their life will have bowel issues because that's where our control center is that in that sacral chakra area where we feel like we lose control, especially women, where they'll have constipation, diverticulitis, all kinds of issues in the bowel. So I talk about that often about how we can manifest dis-ease in our body. And that comes from Hay House. Also, I learned from
Yeah,
Louise Hay also that you can't hold on to things. You have to let it go, or it just, my aunt was never able to really speak her truth, and she died of thyroid cancer because she
oh
never spoke
wow,
her truth. So, and my mom had heart issues because she had a broken heart and she never dealt with her emotional pain, so she had lots of heart issues and kidney issues because she held on to that. I talked with her about it and we worked through some things, but at that point, it had already, in her 80s. But even kidney is anger and resentment with family members when you have kidney issues. So you kind of talk about those. And that Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life book is a really, really good book for that. It is
oh,
a really good book to learn through
it's an
that.
amazing resource. It really is.
We
You
have someone,
know,
yeah, we've got someone says, hi, animals tend to take on the disease of their owners. Someone said, yes, we talked about,
yes. Hi,
yeah.
Pat.
Hi,
Yeah,
that's,
I know her. Yeah. You know what? I even said that when I found out he had cancer. I said, I swear to God, he was trying to take it from me. I
mhm,
swear to God, he was trying to help me.
mhm.
And I
Bless
just,
his little heart. Yeah.
bless his gosh. Oh my gosh, I miss that poodle. Oh my
I know.
gosh. Oh, I was just having a conversation with my husband tonight about it. I'm like, just, it's amazing how uh, certain animals can come into your life and just, I swear he was a soulmate. I
And they're,
swear he
and they're
was.
healers. They heal us more than we even know. And they teach us so much about ourselves than we even know. When they're gone, we realize what they were actually doing for us in our lifetime. In our lifetime.
Yeah.
So with all of this, I mean, your intuition, I went through, we talked through this. I think we were in class with me. We were taking a class together, and you were in class with me when your house, issue, you're like, I gotta go. You're like, take it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about
Yeah.
that.
You were in class when I don't know where we were on, I don't know. We were working
We
together
were
or something. Yeah.
We were on
Yeah.
a group call.
Yeah.
We were living in the hotel, and I didn't want to be on that group call using the hotel
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So I had come back to my home,
Mm-hmm.
and I was sitting in the living room, and so oh my God, I forgot all about
I
that,
didn't,
Ginger. And I
because
hear that,
it was like it was divine intervention that you were there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh
because
my God.
you wouldn't have been you would have been at the hotel on the Wi-Fi, but you didn't want to do that. So you
And
got
I'm
sent
hearing
ahead.
drip,
Yeah.
drip. I'm like, what is that sound? And all of a sudden, well, when they had taken my vanity away from the wall that burnt,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they didn't cap off the plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
So then the plumbing was leaking into this bucket, but then the bucket had filled up, and then it was overflowing, and it
Yeah.
saturated the floor and started dripping down through to
So
the
it wasn't
first
just a
floor.
fire in your house, it flooded too. So you've had a fire, you've had flooding, you've got diagnosed with breast cancer, you lost your poor puppy. I mean,
You
you've
want to do a reading for that, Ginger? You want to give me a reading for what the heck?
what the heck was that? Who the hell did I would think, who the hell did I piss off?
Emotions, right? Flooded with emotions.
Flooded with
Like,
emotions, all that water for your emotions, fires, inner
what?
passion. And I mean, we could go, you had such a year, and you've come out shining on the other side. You look absolutely amazing. Now, Lisa, when I met her, she used to dye her hair blonde. And
Blonde.
I
Yep.
haven't, I still dye my hair, but and it was, of course, she had curly hair then, and she has her curly hair now, which is
Yeah,
great.
but
It
now
came
it's just,
back. You were worried it was going to come back when I saw you at Elias's wedding. You were worried that you was going to come back in straight, but it didn't. It came back in
yeah,
beautiful, such
because
a
it
beautiful
was kind
gray.
of straight though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was still just barely coming in. Well, this is
That's your girl.
April will be a year when my husband cut my
Yeah.
hair. Um, but I don't mind it. Like I just don't, I
It's
don't
it's
mind it.
it's absolutely freaking adorable on you. You've got like a 20s curl. People pay good money to get a beautiful little tight curl like that. So it's absolutely beautiful on you.
It's just hair.
So
It is.
so
It's just hair.
with all of that, and you made it through it, we kind of want to talk about the initial part of self-care, the fact that you didn't allow them to brush you off. You followed through on everything. You stayed on top of everything. When you felt a lump and they didn't feel a lump, you like, I feel it, here it is. Always. And I find this often in the healthcare field that I work in, that women still don't get the type of treatment that they should. A lot of women doctors will pay attention, and evidently your doctor was female and she did pay
Yeah.
attention. Most men physicians, I hate to say this because God knows I work for enough of them, still blow women off with their health issues. They think it's in our head still. They still think, oh, it's just, you're just stressed out. You just need to take a break. They don't like heart attacks for women. We do not have the same symptoms of men as heart attacks, even though they tell you can have, it's not, we don't get classic. Very few do. You'll get mostly it's just feeling like someone's sitting on your chest. You may have a little bit of pain in that left arm, maybe in the jaw. Most women's heart attacks show up with back pain between their shoulder blades. And when you go into the doctor's office or to see your doctor, or you go to the hospital, they'll think it's just anxiety or indigestion still and blow you off. They'll look at your age and they'll think, you're only 45. You shouldn't be having a heart attack. You're only 50. You shouldn't be having a heart attack. But women have a higher risk factors. And they're now finding that due to a lot of the viruses that we've been exposed to, that people are having heart issues. So that's just that self-care. Just push until somebody hears you.
And after I had my first chemo, I remember waking up one night and having really bad chest pains, that radiated up into the side of my jaw. I don't know if I ever told you that.
I think you
And
yeah.
we called the nurse practitioner, and she's like, "Get to the hospital right away." And luckily, I'm in Ohio, and I'm in Columbus, so I'm right here at the Ohio State James
Yeah,
Cancer,
good
where I was
hospitals. Yeah.
treated, Stephanie Spielman Foundation, and of course they run a whole battery of tests, can't find anything. I thought I was having a heart attack, but my heart was perfectly fine. And then it just kind of went away after a few days. Well, after the second chemo, it started again, started getting the chest pains and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And then I started having, of course, I had diverticuli from clear back in 2013, but I
Mhm.
started having the similar symptoms of the diverticulitis. Well, come to find out, what was happening for me was I was basically farting into myself.
You had an air leak?
An air leak,
You had an
and
air leak into your
it's
chest
like,
pushing. Yeah.
yeah, and it was coming up underneath my diaphragm, just like when they blow your cavities, full of air when they're
Yeah.
operating on
Yeah.
you. And but it was mimicking a heart attack, so
Yeah.
sometimes
Well,
they
you
don't,
pushing the
they
diaphragm
don't,
into the heart.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. So that was just kind of one of those things. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Let me check and see what everybody's kind of saying over here. Everybody's saying hi. Your dogs are sick, and one is biting now. One is a narcissist.
Oh,
That's cute. Oh, my heart is with you, said Cindy. It says her heart is with you. And then Pamela, I genuinely really love your hair. I
oh, thank
genuinely
you.
really love your hair. It's sexy as shit. I'll just say it out loud. It is
Thank
sexy
you.
hair. It's like, I don't know, it's just great. It's like almost, well, it's not really Betty Boop hair, but it's that perfect cut for you. And
Sometimes that's what it feels like, is that little, and I'm getting, so it's really kind, it's long, but it boings back
yeah,
up, right?
I
Like
know
it,
the boing. I have the boing. It's like, watch.
yeah, it just
Boing.
boings back up. Yeah.
Angie McLaughlin, or it's all menopause. Yes, they'll say you're just in menopause. You're just in menopause. That's another thing that they'll say with you. And Pamela, she says, I have become strong self-advocate. We are paying for a service and have the right to insist on testing. Without this, I would have not gotten a diagnosis. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
there. Doctors, my mom used to not argue with doctors. I say, why aren't you just telling them? Well, they're the doctor. You can't argue. Yes, you can. And if you don't like them, guess what? You can fire them and you can go see somebody else until you find someone that listens to you. They're like people. They have personalities, and you don't necessarily have to put up with a physician whose personality does not blend with you. You have the right to choose another doctor and change. So the best. And then
Yeah. The
James
James
Cancer
Cancer
Center is
Center
the
is the
best
best.
too.
I will
Yeah.
tell you, every physician I've had, my oncologist is a male, my breast surgeon was a male, the plastic surgeon was a male, my radiologist, she was a female.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all of them phenomenal. In the guy who, so I have other subsequent doctors that I'm following. They're all males. I do feel very heard. I do feel like they take everything I say and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, let's just check. That's one good thing about going to a hospital like that. But I can't speak for other hospitals, but yes, and use your intuition,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's really, really, really super important to use your intuition when things are happening. Like, if that's where, if you don't feel like you're being heard, and intuitively you really feel like something's going on and you really need to um, seek help, then find somebody who will hear you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Well, I think you've done an amazing job of keeping yourself together. I have been keeping up with you and talking with you through all of this. I consider you, of course, a really, really good friend of mine. And I know that even when I have my moments where I can call Lisa up and go, she just like slaps me right back into place again. So very strong women, and you are a very strong woman, and I think as women we need to continue to be strong and continue to advocate for ourselves and advocate for other women. Super, super important. So let's talk about what you do for a living. As far as your psychic medium,
Yeah.
Trans mediumship, a lot of people do not know what a trans medium is. Can you talk a little bit about trans mediumship? I don't do it. I've never tried it. I've done some
Oh,
little bit of trans, but I like to do like other the trans is the whole different energy to me anyway.
You
Talk
know,
about
for me, for me, I call myself a trance channel.
mm,
Um, and basically what happens when I'm in that space is I go into a deep meditative, basically a trance.
mhm,
And as I'm going into that meditative state, eyes are closed, my breathing starts to be really slow but deep, and I'm moving, like my aspect of me is moving out while an aspect of a higher energy is moving in. It's
mhm.
never ever a possession. I'm
Right,
always totally in control and can
right.
come back to my body fully anytime I want to. But the beings that I channel are like Mother Gaia, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, all that is. I've channeled Creator, just all types of really high vibrational beings.
Mhm, mhm.
And then it's no different than what I'm sure you've heard of Esther Hicks,
I
where
have.
she channels the being Abraham.
Right, right.
Um, but she's able to walk around, her eyes are open the whole time she's channeling, where other channels, there's a show on Gaia TV, Gaia.com. I don't know
Mhm.
if you're a
I have that.
subscriber of that.
I do. Yeah.
They've got some really, really, really awesome channelers on there as well. Everybody does it a different way. Some people, their eyes are open. Some people, their eyes are closed. For me, my eyes are closed. My butt has to be sat in a chair. I can't stand up. I can't get up. I can't, I can't open my eyes. This all happened early on because I'm a control freak. I'm a Virgo. I like control.
I don't know
And,
any Virgos, hint, Aaron. Yeah.
and what happened with that is they needed me out of the way. They
Mm,
really needed me out of the way because I was bothering the process. And so like, well, we're just going to move you way over here,
mm.
right? You still own the body, you're still in control of the body, but in order for us to do this work, we're just going to set you over here.
Get
So
out.
I just went into what they call it. I call it a deep trance
Oh, yeah.
channel. There's
Yeah.
light trance channels and there's deep trance channels. And that doesn't mean they're not doing it, but they're able to open their eyes and walk around. And it's just absolutely an incredible way to get messages from spirit. I used to
Right.
run groups out of my
Yeah.
home. I don't do
Mhm.
that anymore. We've talked about maybe doing it again. And I don't actually do this for clients on a one-on-one basis anymore. Um, because it requires my husband to be here with us. Because if someone just comes and they don't, there's some people that I'll do it for, but they're from like the groups that used to come, and so they know the protocols, they know how that process works.
Yeah.
But someone new coming to me wouldn't know the protocols or how that works and be able to, because I'm not there to
Yeah.
facilitate. So
Right.
my husband has to be there to facilitate, and he works a full-time job, but we use it for ourselves. We
Oh,
we you know
good.
we do it actually pretty frequently, when either one of us is getting hung up on something or something about his work or something about life events, or
Mhm.
we just go down into our basement. You haven't been here, have you? I was just
I
trying to
have
think if
not.
you were the
I
group that
want
was here.
I want to come and go there.
Yeah, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome anytime.
The time I could go there, you didn't have there, so we
Yeah,
you were misplaced for a little bit, so I
yeah,
couldn't go when I had the time to go to visit
yeah,
with you. But my husband loves you guys, so that would be an easy peasy thing to do. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so it's just, so if any of but anybody, I encourage, this is no different. Like, what you and I do isn't anything special.
Mm,
It's just a craft that we have worked really hard at learning how
mhm.
to express,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's no different than a ballerina. She doesn't go on point in her first or second class.
No.
She spends months and years getting to the point where she can be on point and perfect it. So
Mhm.
that's why that's why I teach classes in mediumship and psychic development. And I have a once a month, the first Thursday of every month, for those who are near Columbus, Ohio. I do a development circle. It's all in person. All my classes are in person.
And that's a beautiful way to learn. Yeah.
It's phenomenal, because the thing is
Mhm.
every single person I have taught has done it.
Mhm.
Every last one of them.
Yep. You
Now,
just have to get out of your own way.
yeah,
Yeah.
some teachers, I have heard it said, and I won't say who has said it, but I have heard it said that all psychics are mediums. Not all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums.
I have
And
heard that same saying.
I
Yes.
have busted that, though. I have busted that over and over with the students in my classes.
Yeah.
They're all doing both. Every time they take my class,
Yeah.
they're doing what I'm teaching. And now, does that mean they leave that class and go out and become professional? No, but it's practice. It's practice. It's just
Oh
like
my,
anything else.
always
It's like
practice.
it's like
Yeah.
the ballerina going on point. She has to practice to get there. And it's just building your confidence,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
then once you have that confidence, it's like, I got my two shooters in my hips and I'm ready to go.
It is, and even though you build the confidence, sometimes you can read someone that will knock you right out of your confidence again because you think I got this, and then you have the person like, no, 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 and you going, but yes, but I can see it all, and they're like, no, no, and then they leave and you're done. You feel bad. You want to refund their money because you didn't do everything that they wanted you to do, and then a week later you get an email going, oh my god, you were so right, after I got, because they're so afraid, I think, and so not open, and you're busting your tail trying to give them what they want, and they're giving you solid no's, and it kicks you butt, and you lose your confidence going, I had this, I swear this is what I said. Then a week later you find out that you were right on point, but it takes a while. It will throw you off. Even the best mediums that I know, even the world renowned mediums that I have met and worked with, still have days that they have a difficult time. And they've
Yeah.
been practicing.
Yep.
My current mentor has been practicing over 30 years, and he still misses it. And he'll say, my first reading was phenomenal. My second one was crap. I couldn't get what I needed. So it's just the energy, it's being in the space, it's being able to pull that in.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. It's not a perfection. It is a craft. And even energy is energy. You can't always connect. It just zips right by you. So
Yeah.
anyway, real quick, I think Ellen Jones said, here, we'll just pop this up. Let's see if it'll let me. You're an inspiration. She's gone through 2 similar years and she's come through it all on top. Also was at St. James. Hugs. So you're an inspiration to her that you've come through so much. And you're so resilient.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
and hello to everybody that's here. By the way, if you're joining, this is Lisa Nolan Shalowsky. She is a psychic medium, I want to call it a trans medium, but and then she's also a certified instructor, master teacher at the Lisa Williams Spiritual Center. So,
I've also, I don't have it on my website, but my husband and I are past life regressionists also.
yes,
So that is another really,
yes,
so part of, when you talk about energy that is in the etheric field, emotions and feelings and all that come in as a physical manifestation, what I'm coming to realize also is that it can be karmic. Some of that is coming in at an appropriate time for the karma to play itself out.
Yep.
Or it can just simply be pre-planned and it was part of my contract.
Yeah.
This
is what you were meant to
but
go
again, that contract is in that etheric field. So you're having to work through what aspect of that am I working through? And so it's just a powerful way to live, just looking at things going, isn't this interesting? It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite things to say. Isn't this interesting?
What's
Isn't this
next?
interesting? What's next? What do we,
What's next? Yeah.
yeah,
And can I kick its ass just like I did this? Can I get through it? Can I make it? Can I win? I don't know. That's me. I was like, I'm going to win. This is not going to kick my ass. I'm going to make sure that I make it through this. It'll knock me down, but damn it, I'm going to get back up, dust back off, and just go on down. I have an interesting question, and I'll bet nobody's asked you this.
okay.
Since your experiences over the last couple of years, since having COVID, since having breast cancer, since going through chemo, since going through radiation, have you noticed, has it enhanced your abilities? If you notice, has it changed your ability to connect? Has it enhanced it? Do you feel like you're up a couple notches on your connection? Because when you go through chemo, I know you went through different types of chemo. Some people, like with leukemia and stuff, they have to basically leukemia, when you go through chemo for leukemia, because it's a blood cancer, they basically kill you and you come back, because they basically wipe out your entire bloodstream, and then you get transfusion, and then you come back to life. So I'm just one, and that sounds terrible, but that's what I've had experience watching, and that's what I've had patients tell me. I felt like I died and came back. Do you think it's changed your outlook on things in life, or your abilities have changed? I bet
That's
no
a,
one's asked you that.
I actually have been asked that. It's okay. It's okay. It's a good,
I
no, but
bet
it's
it'd be
it's
different. Yeah.
absolutely a fabulous question. And the answer is yes, it has changed my outlook on life.
Hmm.
And I do believe it has enhanced my ability because um, and I'm not sure, I'm not necessarily sure why it did, other than I want to hear more clearly so that I'm aware,
Mm.
right? Like it's almost like I dialed myself in a little tighter, right? I just
Mhm.
dialed that in a little
Mhm.
tighter to be able
Mhm.
to understand. Um, I certainly know when someone is coming through and they've had a systemic illness such as myself, right? Because I've had that awareness of,
So you feel it.
um,
Yeah, you can feel
I
it.
can
Yeah.
feel it. And I had a lot of time to really do a lot of soul searching last year. I could have really been angry, being out of our home. And, that entire experience was done in a strange place.
Yeah.
It was done in an apartment. But I look at that as a blessing, that I don't have to look at this house as a memory of where I was sick. So
See?
it's just,
See?
I'm able to,
Wow.
I'm able to flip all of it and look at well, but what about this? Or let's look at this. And I worked through the entire process. I would take the week off after chemo, but then I would work the next couple, because it really just makes you feel like you have the flu, and then you're good. And I would just wear my beanie cap. Um, Never wore a wig. I never felt the need to. I just walked around proud with my bald head and told people to rub it for good luck, like instead of my belly rub.
Such a positive attitude.
Yeah.
This is what has been thrown at me, and this is how I'm going to handle it. And that is a lot of that shows that you've done a lot of self-worth on yourself. Even then, I know it was difficult because I talked with you. So I know you had your ups and
Oh
downs,
yeah.
where you just want to pull yourself into a hole and pull the dirt in over the top of you and say, fuck it. Screw it. So,
Are you allowed to say that?
I
Are you allowed to say that on Facebook?
whoops, I'm gonna get cut. Screw it. So I know that we all, but I'm just super, super proud of you for coming through, for what you've come through, and being such an inspiration. And I'm honored and blessed that I got to watch your journey. Even though we're
Oh,
states apart, we've talked, and I've honored and blessed that I actually got to watch, and hopefully helped in some way through your journey with everything. I
and
see
yes,
all kinds
absolutely.
of healing, and thought of you. I had a piece of paper, Reiki for Lisa today, and every day I did a little bit of, I tuned into you because you gave me permission to do so. By the way,
Yep.
you have to have permission to tune into people. You gave me permission. I tuned in, and I tried to send you loving energy and surrounding you with that, even though I'm sure you had a ton of other people, but I did my small part, because it does take a tribe. It takes a tribe, it takes a community for people to be able to
Yeah.
get through stuff like
Yeah.
this. So
No,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. 100%. It takes a tribe. And I just had a friend reach out to me today. She goes, I've been feeling you pinging. What's going on?
Yeah,
But today it's just
yeah,
like I'm pinging because I feel so good, and I've
yeah.
got so many exciting things coming. And I myself, I'm someone who, at least my philosophy and my belief is that we always need to keep learning.
Mhm.
Right. I've been doing this work professionally for almost 12 years now, but even I still take classes. I still
Mhm.
do things to advance myself and improve myself and qualify my skills. And I'm super excited. I don't know if you've ever heard of Mike Dooley.
I have, yes,
So I've
yes.
signed up for his Infinite Possibilities Trailblazer
Oh,
training.
wow, yeah.
So I'm going to be an Infinite Possibilities trainer, and I cannot wait.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm
I'm so,
so excited to
you know,
see what.
I had someone one time say to me, I can be, I'm old, but I heard someone today say that Lucille Ball never said her real age, and that she never said her real age because she kept herself young, and she always learned to laughter, never exactly saying what your real age is, and having fun in life kept her young. So I've decided I'm going backwards now. I'm not going to tell people my real age. I'm going to go to knock off about 7 years. So I'm going to go back because I don't look my age anyway, I don't think. And shoot, where my little menopause brain came in with what I was going to say about this. Oh, shoot, hang on, it'll come back. It's like, right, the menopause, whoop,
Yes.
just
Oh,
disappears.
yeah.
Um, oh, dang it, we're going to keep talking. It'll come
We were
back.
talking about age. You were talking about Lucille Ball. We were talking about laughter. How
Yeah,
she never told her
I
real
had
age.
someone tell me one time, you know what, you should really just grow up. And
Hmm.
I went, and I think I was in my 40s. And I said, really? I said, I absolutely
No.
refuse to grow up, because the day you grow up, in my book, is the day you die, because you can no longer learn and grow. So when I grow up, then I'm gone. I'm dead and gone, because I just don't want to grow up, because that to me is I can't grow anymore. I can't learn anymore. I can't become a better person. I can't learn about people around me, and people fascinate me. I mean, humans, they fascinate me. The human life and the people and how they think and work fascinates me. So I will never grow up. And I will always be a little bit of a kid, and have fun. And I'm the quiet one that plays the pranks on people, that nobody knows I'm the one that did it. They always blame everybody else, and then I just sit back and watch. You know. But that's my goal. I don't ever want to grow up. Not,
I
well, when I say I'm grown up, that means I'm done. There's nothing else to learn.
I don't know if you've ever heard of an author. Her name is Lucia Capicchione.
Mm-mm.
Okay. She's absolutely fabulous. She's written a book. One of them is called The Power of the Other Hand.
Huh.
And the other one that I have is called Recovering the Inner Child. I might be telling you the title not quite right. Recovering of the Inner Child, something like that.
Hmm.
And both of them are fabulous. I've already worked The Power of the Other Hand. I've worked the entire book. The one I'm working right now is the Inner Child work. And it's absolutely fabulous. And what you do is you have a dialogue with your inner child, your higher self, your body parts, all of those kinds of things
Mhm,
through
mhm.
automatic writing,
Oh,
which is
wow.
another beautiful format of getting in touch with
Yes, it is.
spirit and, and,
Yes,
and
it
all
is.
aspects of self.
Mhm.
And it was amazing to me. So you start the dialogue with your dominant hand, and then you hand the pen over to your non-dominant hand, and you allow that inner child to speak.
Ah,
And one of the first exercises was having her draw a picture of where she was, but you're doing it all with the non-dominant hand. And I was like, oh, she's quite the artist. She's actually better than I am when I'm trying to do it on purpose.
Mhm,
And it
mhm.
was just, it amazed me. I did this just a few weeks ago, and I was like, I showed my husband after I was done. I was like, look where little Lisa is. I mean, it was just this beautiful little place. And I was like, I would not have thought that she would have been in such a beautiful place given the year that we've been through. And it was
Wow.
very surprising.
Wow. I'm gonna have
Um,
to work on that, because
it's
I
it's phenomenal, Ginger. It's absolutely phenomenal.
my little girl always needs something. I mean, I have that part in my life where I didn't get recognized. I wasn't seen. So my little girl comes out often, when I don't feel like I'm being recognized or seen. And it sounds terrible, but that's because I didn't have that growing up. And that is so
Yeah.
important for children growing up to have that. They need to be seen. They need to be heard. They need to be told, I'm proud of you. I love all those things that kids need to hear that I don't even think they're getting that now. Parents are just going here and they're handing their phone to their kid and saying, play a game. I don't have time for you. We're going to have all these people with little children on the inside that never got what they needed and, work through. So I'm going to see what else here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an absolutely powerful, powerful, powerful exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing what can come through. And, when you first start the writing, because you're doing it with your non-dominant hand, it looks like a first grader is writing, but you just push through it. Uh, it gets to the point where you can actually start writing cursive or writing to where, and some of the letters will be backwards, but for the most part, it really works itself out. I've been doing it long enough now where, it's really actually pretty fluid, and I can read it very well.
You're making a difference. Let's see here. We have love automatic writing. Can't imagine doing it with a non-dominated hand. Fascinating. And then Kim Spencer has said, I'm inspired to live in Lisa's area. I will be looking to learn from you. So
Thank you,
she's talking
Kim.
about moving. Yeah. And that's something to mention really too quickly, that Lisa's, get off my screen. There we go. This is her website that's in front of her, lisanolan.com. And I don't mind if you are drawn to her, if you feel that she's someone that can teach you and you can work with, or even get a reading by her, please reach out to her and tell her that you saw her on on my live. And I highly recommend her. She taught me. Why would I not want her to help continue and to help teach everybody else?
Oh, thank you,
So,
Ginger.
well, we have like 9 minutes before we're done. And we talked about maybe, pulling a couple of cards for the energy for the week, if that's all right. And Erin's putting in how to get a hold of you. She's dropping. Also in the chat, Erin is putting in how to get a hold of Lisa. She has a Facebook page, and then she has her website. And she does, is that correct? Is everything looking right for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I want to say hi to Sherry Roof. She's out there she jumped in here a little bit ago too. Did you see
Sherry
that?
did?
From the class
Sherry,
we took
yes, I
together.
see Sherry Roof. Yeah. Oh, I remember Sherry. Hi, Sherry.
So we were just kind of messing around. I don't actually pull cards when I do readings. This is the first time I've actually pulled a card in any type of live. But you know what?
Oh.
I'm so moved by this card I pulled for us, right?
Mm-hmm,
I pulled a card for me and Ginger before we started. Now, I don't know if these cards are still in print. They're called the Living Light cards by Meg Blackburn Lousy.
Yeah.
Okay. These are just amazing cards. And this is the card I drew, is Reaching into the Unknown. Okay. Look at this beautiful card. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
And I'm going to read from her book. So if this is being recorded, I'm quoting from Meg Blackburn, and this is Meg. We actually went to Peru with her in 2012. When the Mayan calendar was ending in 2012, December of 2012, we were on the mountain of Machu Picchu.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hear that's quite a climb.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. So this is reading from her book, and this goes out to all of you. So just really listen to this. It's Reaching into the Unknown. We are much more comfortable living within the boundaries of what is familiar to us. Even when the familiar is not what we want, we know what to expect. So we stay in that place because it seems easier than making choices that would lead us into unknown territory. The most difficult time is when we know we need to make a different choice, but are afraid of its outcomes. How many of us have done that? Right? We don't move because we're afraid or fear. So this card encourages you to choose outside of your comfortable discomfort, to stretch yourself beyond the edge, to go boldly into the uncertain. Once you do, the relief will be immeasurable, and the excitement of your now journey will catapult you into what is next. I think that is such a fabulous card and such a fabulous message for
Mm-hmm.
everybody that's listening, because there
Mm-hmm.
must be something in here for you, because I know there was something in here for me. Like, I just
Me
absolutely
too.
love it.
Me too. Me too, stepping out and doing things that I would normally not do out of fear, because I'm not, fear of not being enough, fear of not being good enough, fear of not being able to meet the standards, you
Fear
know,
of being judged,
fear of being
right?
judged. Yes, yes. Fear of being judged is a big one. So, I have a couple of cards that I pulled, and I pulled this from, here we go, from Colette Baron Reed's Enchanted Map deck.
Oh,
Um,
lovely.
I love. Have you ever used these cards?
No, I love her
Oh,
though. I love her. I love her.
I love her too. She rides a motorcycle. So, and she's just amazing. I was her speaker assistant once, and I was driving her, and here I have Colette Baron Reed in my car, and I'm driving her along, and she's just yakking away and talking to me. And I said, I hope I'm okay. She turns and she goes, oh my God, Ginger, you ride a 750-pound motorcycle. I am not worried about your driving. It was so cute. It was so cute because, I'm thinking I don't want to stop and go, and, because I had her, and she's just so sweet. I just love her to death. So, what I pulled is I got Talisman. Isn't that an interesting card for the
Wow.
talisman? And talismans, of course, represent change and energy and so forth. And then I got what we have is education, but education for
Upside down.
upside down. And in Colette's cards, when they're upside down, they just mean that it's maybe a time to pull yourself back. It's like a protection card with her when she has them upside down, the way that she teaches about her cards. So when I look at talisman, and of course, talisman is I can look it up in the book really quick. I try to pull it off out of my intuition, but to me, a talisman is a representation of something that is protective to you. Let me see what she says about talisman. It's a lesson truly learned, is crystallized, is as earned wisdom. You have all that you need for the success you seek. So, and the seeking, of course, is you've got that road ahead of you, and you've got the light. And it just to remind yourself that this week, if you're questioning things, this is your energy for the week. If you are questioning things, then maybe you need to understand that you have everything that you need. And, I think, are we in another Mercury retrograde? I don't
I
know.
don't think so. I
Good.
think everything's direct right
Everybody, it
now.
always affects them, but I was born during Mercury retrograde, so I'm backwards. So I'm backwards, and I'm a handful, I guess. I don't know, but it doesn't affect me. The Mercury retrograde really doesn't affect me because I was born during a Mercury retrograde.
Oh, I'll
So
have to look at that.
yeah, but so this just tells me you have everything you need. So right now, if you're thinking, oh gosh, I don't have this, I don't have, maybe you need to take a step back and really look at the full picture and understand that you probably do have everything that you need, and look and being more graceful with yourself and calm with yourself and tell yourself everything's going to be okay this week. I have all the tools I need. I have everything, and it doesn't hurt to even try to find tools to help you, but don't go thinking that you're going to sink, your ship is going down, because we all have everything we need. We all just need to ask the universe and pay attention to the signs. I'm making you sleepy now. And then
Oh,
education for her in reverse is
and let
when
me see what it looks like the right side up. What's
oh,
the
you want
picture?
to, you don't want to flip upside down and see it? Here we go. Isn't that a beautiful card? It's
Oh,
got the
wow, that's
egret there
really
and the little
pretty.
fairy, and it's got the quarter, like an eighth, little sliver of a moon up there. And education in reverse. Now, normally education means it's time to learn and to do things, but sometimes this is just a quiet moment when it's in reverse, is what I feel when I look at this. It also talks about, oh, this is a good one, stubbornness and the desire to know it all and be right no matter what will not get you what you want. Here, those cards are perfect together. You have everything you need. Don't be stubborn. Or it could be that you're afraid to be seen as someone who knows less than you're supposed to. And could you be flying through it by the seat of your pants, hoping no one will notice you're skimming the surface of things?
Hmm.
So life is filled with lessons, some bitter, some sweet. A strident lust for certainty will never bring you the wisdom you seek. Pretending to know more than you do won't make you wise. Be assured that not knowing is a magical place to be. All matters of mysteries are revealed. Be open. It's okay to not know.
Wow.
So this is your energy for this week, ladies. So let's see here. Oh, here we go. We are not in retrograde right now. The moon is, thank you, Aaron, for catching us up. So, and then of course, Cheryl came on and said, I'm good. I hope you are well. We are good. As you can see, Lisa is amazing. She looks absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So I know we didn't do cards this week. I will have a night where I just come on and I just pull cards, but I've been trying to do something a little bit different. I like the education. I like sharing the people that I love and care about and their businesses and their abilities. And, who knows, you guys may resonate with Lisa. If you do, feel free. Would not bother me a bit if you reached out to her for a reading or check. I don't know if, have you ever thought about doing Zoom classes?
Oh, Ginger.
Oh,
That's that education upside down. It's just saying pause right now.
Okay, fine. Maybe down the road you could
I am so I'm not gonna say my age, but the gray may be showing what it might be. And I'm technically challenged when it comes to doing that stuff. So yeah.
So maybe I should set up a Zoom class that you and I can teach, and I'll take care of all the technical side of it, and you can just concentrate on teaching. How's that? We should do that. We should teach a class.
We should do that.
Let me see here what we got. Kim, I'm just going to let a few more comments here. Thank you so much. So you're welcome, Kim, and enjoyed this tonight. Very nice. Thank you, Theta. And thank you, Ginger and Lisa. You're welcome. I said usually everybody jumps on and they're wanting cards. And thank you both, Angie, for a great talk tonight. Thank you. And then Pat, feel more connected when it's in person. Yep, there you go.
I am the same way, Pat. That's why I'm just kind of resistant still, but I know it would be good.
Yep, it can be. And there, Andriana, co-teachers. Wow, great. Yeah, see, we could co-teach.
That would be awesome. Mm-hmm. I think we'd be, and you've got a co-teaching coming up with Elias, which I think I saw that today. That's super exciting.
I found this really cool thing. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see if I can bring it up. I don't know if my slides are here. Hold on. I learned how to do this and I was like, woohoo!
Make sure you announce that. That's really
good. Oh, wait, here we go. Are you ready? Watch how cool I've become. My husband goes, it's like you're on the television. Look.
Oh, how neat.
Isn't that cool? I learned how to do that. Is super badass. So on Friday, June 23rd at 3 p.m. until Sunday, June 25th, Elias Patras and I are doing a retreat in Oregon. And this is in Eagle Creek, Oregon. And this is called Aspects of Love. And this is loving your inner you. This is stuff we talked about, Lisa, working through, having that self-love and staying strong. This is a class. It's an amazing retreat. It's all the one price includes your room. It includes your food. It includes all of the things that we're going to do to teach you as far as like there's fire ceremonies and there's meditation type of dancing and small groups, large groups, one-on-ones, writing letters to a loved one. And the other cool thing that we have going on is you're going to make a drum. And I think we talked with the young lady that was doing this, and the drum is either going to be out of deer skin or elk. And when you make this, and it's a big drum, like, I don't know, she said 18-inch maybe drum, you're going to put your love and your energy and your intentions into this drum when you make it. And then you're taking it home with you.
That's
and those drums are expensive. I mean, to buy a big drum like that's like, gosh, I think $400 or $500 easily when you buy a drum that's been made by an artist. So that's that. And I thought I'd share that. And you can contact me at my email, and Aaron will pop it up here in a few minutes. Or you can go to www.eliaspatras.com for more information. We're only taking 28 people. It's filling up fast, and I think it'll be super cool. So I was super excited that I learned how to do that, how to do the presentation thing. So let's see if I can I make it go away? That's what I want to see. Oops. Now the fun part is, how do I get back? Oh, wait. like that.
There
There we
it
go.
is.
So I
Very
learned
good.
how to do that. I was super excited. My husband's like, wow, it's like you're on the news and you're just bringing stuff up. That is coming up. Of course, next week is the 28th, I think. Is that what? Yeah, the 28th of the month. I have Laura Wooster on with me next week, and she's amazing also. So I think that's it for everybody. You guys have any questions for Lisa before we let her go? Please put it in the chat if you have any questions at all for Lisa. We'll give them a second. Everybody's like dropping off now because we're almost done. I don't see. It was a
Yeah, here
lovely
on
chat
the
tonight, though. Yes, there we go.
yeah.
All right. So if there aren't any questions, then Lisa, just hang on when we end this thing. And of course, you can reach me and Erin can pick that up at gingerparrick.com. You can email me at ginger@healingheartmedium.com. You can follow me on my Instagram, which is Ginger Healing Heart Medium. And then also on TikTok. I don't do a lot on TikTok. I'm getting there. Kind of scares me a little bit. I don't know why. Ginger Healing Heart Medium also on TikTok. I'm working on that. So, and we were also live on YouTube tonight. So for that's out there. But I appreciate each and every one of you that joined us this evening. Lisa, thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you. It's been great sharing.
Fun and talking, and I hope that people, can always watch this back. I always leave it on my page where they can watch it back. I hope anything that you said or shared tonight may be an inspiration and maybe help someone that's been struggling this year.
Oh, and look who just popped on, Gordon from Ontario. Nice to
Here we
see you,
go.
Gordon.
Lisa, hope you're well. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm doing wonderful.
thank you, Gordon. Thank you. So I think that's it. If that's it, that's all. As I always say, thank you again, Lisa, for being here. And then I'll always say, Elias and I don't know who said it first, but as always, from my heart to yours, good night, everybody. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.